Everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's session. Today's session is on making of a landscape, but I have been told to have a session on painting waterscape instead. So anyway, we'll start. Welcome to the session, and if you are joining for the first time, we have live sessions every week on different art forms, on sketching, portrait, watercolor, landscape, clay modeling, everything. So you can join the session, and if you are first time you are joiner, then subscribe the channel. You will not repent that you have joined. Will come across the first channel where every art form is explained step by step. So I am directly started. So when we have to paint anything in watercolor, then we have to use colors and the pencil, which is very light, and the technique of using watercolor I will be explaining. So if you will see, maybe the drawing is not visible. I am trying to keep it light. If the drawing is light, then it is very easy for us to correct it, and the watercolor marks are visible. So you may not be able to see what I am drawing, but I will show you what I am trying to create in a close-up. So it is a water scene where most of the colors are light, and nothing to do in dark whenever we use watercolors. So don't paint the color too much dark, as I have said. So this is a scene of a sea, which I got somewhere, and this is the sketch. So let's start. The main part of a waterscape or any drawing in watercolor is the effect should come out, and the technique of water is used. So I have to show that it is a sea. Now watch carefully, how do you make the movement or flow in water. So you can use brushes which are round. I am using a round brush. You can use flat brush also. And here I want to create a scene with water, and I am using a brush. So in this brush I have made it wet, and in this area of the drawing I want to create a flow of there is a flow of the waves which you have seen. So I am trying to make this area wet where the color will be washed. This is just to keep the area wet, and the more area is made wet faster. Now the use of color, which colors and how do you mix the color. We had a session earlier in which the use of color and how to mix and which shade to be used was explained. I'll show you that. Now see, I have taken color in this brush, and I will just, since the paper was wet, when I will apply the color, it will spread and it will be easy for me to create the effect which I want. So this is use of blue. So I have started from the bottom. Normally I start from the top, but it depends upon the area wherever you want. Now the upper area I want to show light. I am creating the effect of flow of the sea. So when I will wash the color, it will become light. Now upper area, try to keep it light. Here I have applied. Now when I will spread the color, I will try to give it a different tone. So apply the color, and you are seeing that the color use is not too much, and you will not rub the brush on the water. This, let's do it full wet. Now you see how it is done faster. The paper has become wet. I am using a normal water paper sheet. The water paper sheet helps us to handle the paper, because otherwise, and you can paint it also, you can stick it also. You can stick the watercolor sheet. When you will stick the watercolor sheet, the paper which will fold, it will not be affected, and the folded paper will not give you trouble. Now I have not pasted it. I will paste the sheet later on. Now since the page was wet, the water and the color is merging, and I can merge the color in the angle which I want. So since it is a sea, the water which will be created, now the paper will remain wet because I have made it more wet. Now when I will apply a second layer, the two colors will merge. Now the boat part, boat I will be painting later on. First let me show you the effect on the water. The effect on the water will depend on the color of the boat. So here I am spreading a grayish tone in the water. Near the boat the color will be kept same, and when I will come down, the color will be according to flow of the water. Towards this end, now first layer I have applied, I can mix the color, then I will give second layer detail to it. The paper will dry, then I will give a second layer detail to it. Now this area I want to be dried. Now this was wet, this is another one. Here I have not made it wet. Now see, I can do it without wetting the paper also. The only thing is I will have to move it fast. And some areas of the white grayish tone which I am creating, that I will leave white. And these flow or the flow of the water is important, which I am creating. This flow of the water you can see on net also. Now this part is wet, so here I am doing the area where I had not made the paper wet. Now this side paper was not wet. Now blue is the basic tone. Now the upper area of the water has to be done light. So here I will use blue, the same blue, but keep it light. So apply the color and then the flow of the water will be flat and it will be clean, because it is a edge harbor where the water is not moving. So I am using the white of the paper. There are two boats in the end, so here I am using gray. And just a flow of water. So this ensures that there is a shadow, and the area above it, let me rub this line. I don't want this line because I can do it without. This is the edge of the sea. So here I will be using blue and it will be light blue with slight tone of black in it. This part here, this part I want to create. So this is the edge of the sea. Now you can do with the sponge which I have shown you. You can do it with brush also. Now there will be no flow because it is far away, it is a daytime, but there will be some blue movements which will be shown in the water. These are the flows of the water. So when we use watercolor, we have to see that the water, the area wherever we have used water, that will be wet. And if it will be wet, the paper will be also moist. So if you will apply any color near the water, the wet water, then it will be it can merge. So now I want to, this is the edge of the sea, but above it there is sky. So I want to show sky also, but the color will be same blue. So what I will do, the sky will be shown, but I am using the same thing, and I will make it wet, and I have left the border line, and I will wait for it to dry slightly. Then I will put a layer of blue over it. Now this area is having a boat. Now to create the boat effect, again blue is there, the color of the boat has got blue in it. So the upper part is having a design, and there is red also in it. We'll try to complete so that you get step-by-step method of how do you make the detail. You want to see a close-up, I will show you in close-up. Now this is the upper edge of the boat, which is having a blue tone. And towards this blue edge there is a tone of red. So this is the normal color which is given to the boats, and there is a strip of white left in between. So design can be any, but just see how do you create it. Between the blue and the red which I will apply now. Now which blue and which red I am using, that I will give you an idea just now. So there is a session on watercolor which we did, in which I have explained how do you get the shade which you want. Now the blue and red are just next to each other. I have left a line in between which will create a design also. And it is a thin line, broad from the front, and when we go towards the outer edge, it will become thin and it will fade out. Then I will put another blue line. This is just a design. Now here the design will be there, so you can make this one thinner compared to the upper line. So it is thick from the front, and then when we go here it should become very thin, even fade away. Then there is a blue or a darkish bluish black at the bottom, which is the edge of the boat. Now I have applied black, blue, that is the water I have created already. so it might be, this might be wet. So when I will put this color, I should leave, otherwise the color will spread. Now from the upper side there is something written also, but that is, you can put anything. So I will just put an impression of something written here. And it will be written, you can put a design. So I am putting a design here. I have written IN and I have put a design. And here let me put a soft impression of the design which is going far away. This is the edge of the boat. Now towards the bottom of the boat I have to put slightly dark blue or black. Now we'll come to this boat after some time. Now there is something to be done inside it also. Now inside the color will be very light. This section of the boat is having away from light, so I will just put a light tone and keeping the upper area white. So this part will be like this. Now this portion I want to show that it is having a light is falling on it, and this is the edge of the boat. There is something inside it also, so let's put a tone inside. So the boat effect has been done. We can give some more detail later. Now the boat which is away, that has to be done. So that one is having more of blue and red also is there. It is almost same, but we want to differentiate, and this is moreover far away. So just apply the color, one soft layer, and the color of the second boat will help in highlighting the front boat. So whenever we use watercolor, we keep contrast shades in mind. The boat also will have some shade from inside, which is to show the inner portion of the boat. So towards the inner side, and from the top you can put a stroke. Now the red in the boat is just for, it is a thin line, so this is different from this one. So in this the red will be just a very thin line. It has got a red at the bottom, which is again very faint line. And we will spread this. Now this is just to highlight some areas. Now there are some parts in this boat which have to be shown. There is a small motor type here. So I have created it with brush only. There is a small pole in this part. Now major part of the drawing which I have done, it has dried, so I can give a second layer detail to it. Now the whole drawing, this part was wet, but now it has dried. So now it's soft layer to be applied, and now I will be spreading blue. The blue in the upper area will be applied like this. Apply like this and then wash it. So what happened? It gives a wash effect to the clouds. Let's see one more time. Now this area I want to show dark. I have applied the blue and I have rubbed it with this. So it is giving it a blue shade in the sky. So the sky is also having blue shade, and the sea also has got the edge of the sea, which is the horizon of the meeting place of the water, and the sea, that I am doing with slightly dark, but it will dry and it will become light. Now we will do it fast and finish it. Now here I want to show a flow of the water. Now this is the structure of the boat, and there is water, so the flow will be shown in the water also. So these strips which I am creating, they will create an effect of moving water. So they will be light and dark depending upon the area. So some parts which are near the boat, they will be dark. Now towards the closer end, towards the near end which is near us, these strips will be there, but they will be soft. Now this is a flow of the water. So here there will be where the water is flat, there the flow will be shown softly. Here I want to show some movement of the water. So this is a tone of blue, and this end is not hit, so I can't create. So I will just use a tone and spread the blue. So this is a flow of the water which I have created. Now to give some more detail, this is a boat. So near the boat, the water flow will be slightly darker. And there is some water flow softer. So where there is a shadow, there the color will be having blue and black, and where it is where there is no boat, there is nothing in the water, so it will be a reflection of the clouds. Now here just edge of the boat I want to highlight. Now I will add some brightness. The main part of the drawing I have done. So it is just a simple drawing. The drawing is not having too much detail. There is use of simple 2-3 colors. Now the highlight part. The highlight part means I want to show the areas which are directly showing sunlight. To show sunlight and to brighten up the areas, some areas I have to now where it is absolutely dark, that will show that there is it is in complete shadow. The edge of the board, which is the bottom, now just a tone of blue and we will wind up. I will show you a close-up also what is coming out. Now there are some objects in the water and these are important to give. This is a type of rope which is going in the water, and there is a water buoy in the water buoy is what it is, an object which holds the boat in the water. So this is floating in the water. Now this is just a object which is created. And what is the use of this object? This is for filling the space which is left in the water. Here it will create a shadow. You can see there will be a shadow, and this shadow in the water will give it a reality. And here I can give a flow, that there is some flow in the water. Now one more I want to create. So this is far away. In fact, there are more objects, but let's have one only. Then there is something which is tied here, and this side we will put it. Now on this side I will use bluish tone in that buoy which is there. You can see this. The upper boat also is having it. So this is far away. So here the rope or the chain will be longer. So these things which are there in the boat, they help to create a flow in the painting. Otherwise it will look flat. Now the blue is highlighted, which will help to create now watch. Now just a flow of water has to be created. No, I'm not. So basically the drawing is complete. Here just to add, we will not give too much detail in the far away object because it is far away, so it will be not dark and it will be light. Now towards the near end I want to give some blue and then it will be done. This corner then the slightly upper one. Here I am not very happy, so here I am putting the color. and I will spread it. Let's connect the flow of the water and then we will end it. So there will be slight darker tone in the water. In the edge of the two boats, the boat which is near it will have a darker shade. Now we can have one more object in the foreground somewhere here. This is another, you can see, a place where the ships or the boats tie up. So this is in water. Now this movement in the water is important, which is the moving water shadow. And just a tint of another shade toward the edge. This is just to break the same hues color. So hope you have enjoyed the session and liked it. This was a watercolor, totally use of watercolor and use of a water scene. Just watch a close up. Now just I want to show some shine. I will do it. So we'll meet in the next session. Goodbye and take care. And do subscribe and give a like to this video and give your comments. I'll wait for your comments. Goodbye.